Aloha, everyone, and welcome to Leveraging Up. It's your voice, your story, your impact. And today I'm going to be hosting. My name is Mamie Lamley, and I have a very special guest. Her name is Anja Deichmann, and she has a company called Arwendayle. And we're going to learn a little bit more about who she is and what she's committed to in just a moment. You want to say hello, Anja?
Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it. Hello.
Awesome. So, Anja, tell me, what inspired you to create your company?
It's a loaded question, but I tell you, in the short of it is that I never was blessed with very nice hair. So, so even when I was in my 20s, I was very lucky because I had a lot of hair, but my hair was always fine, always brittle. So, and of course, in the 80s, I had my perms, and they did a number on my hair. But I managed in my 20s to always have long, straight hair, just like I have now, and I love that. And in my 30s and 40s and early 50s, my hair started to get worse and worse and worse. And when I discovered wigs, I found a lady on Facebook, and she did a live presentation, and I was immediately fixed. I purchased 7 wigs in 10 days. I spent a fortune. So excited. I was so excited. And when I got them, I was overwhelmed with them. And to make a long story short, it took me a few weeks to get used to them. And I had to go through a lot of tears, a lot of frustration. But once I did, they changed my life. And in that moment, or on that period, I remembered my mother's words. My mother was diagnosed with cancer in 2008. And she lost her hair through chemotherapy. And she said one sentence to me. She said, "Anja, now comes the wig." And she said that word with so much despair and contempt, and it broke my heart. So when I discovered them, and I was a very successful businesswoman, but when I discovered them, they changed my life. And I decided I cannot keep this to myself. Every woman in the world needs to know about this beauty product that is still stigmatized. So I'm on a mission to crush the stigma of wigs and make them a mainstream beauty product.
Anja, you are so beautiful.
You are very kind.
You know, I know the feeling that your mom went through because I'm a thriver of cancer. And the first thing that I thought I would have to do is I would lose my hair, and I'd have to figure out how to get into a wig.
Yes. And that is traumatizing, isn't it? I mean, the trauma of the diagnosis, and then especially for us women to lose our hair, that is serious trauma. I'm so glad you survived.
Absolutely. Anja, if you could reach into the hearts of our listeners and our viewers, what are some of the tips that you can give them to get them prepared if the alternative will be a wig?
So I would say, because I cater to those women with a high level of suffering, but I also cater to the other 45% of women who are unhappy with their hair. They don't need the wig, but they are not happy with their hair. And in some cases, you know, we as women, we are often told to age with grace, whatever that means. So no matter why we are unhappy with our hair, it could be because of high level of suffering, like cancer treatments, chemotherapy, alopecia. There are so many reasons. But it's also for women who are really unhappy about their hair because after menopause, and sometimes even before menopause or after pregnancy, they lose their hair. And they have to, they are, you know, a lot of women look like yourself. You look fantastic with short hair. But some women, their dream hair is long and luscious and bangs, no bangs. And we cannot wear our hair anymore. And my mission is to help women overcome the stigma. And I actually developed a protocol, and I teach women with my consultations. I teach them how to integrate wigs. By the way, we don't call them wigs, we call them crowns. Yes, because every woman is a queen. And we are
Beautiful.
crowning ourselves. So we are totally distancing ourselves from the stigma of the wig. And every woman has the right to beautiful and healthy looking hair, regardless of her age and health status. So that's our mission.
I love that mission, Anja, because
Thank
my
you.
family has been impacted. And wigs were the biggest thing that we had to kind of get over.
Yes.
And knowing that there's an alternative out there, I'm so glad to hear that.
Yeah, thank you so much. It's life changing. It's changed the lives of so many women, but I can only advise them to get the help. Hopefully my book will be out soon, so I'm writing a book about it to help women overcome that stigma and integrate wigs into their lives, no matter if they're about to have chemotherapy. And I advise them to do that before they get sick, before they have this emotional turmoil. And you know, when we succeed making wigs a mainstream product, we ultimately help the women with a high level of suffering, because they don't feel like they are a separate group. It's just like, yeah, I'm wearing a wig like everybody else. So
I love
that's
that.
the goal.
I
Yeah.
love that. You know, Anja, for our listeners and viewers out there, what's the best way to find you?
Thank you so much for asking. We have an online shop. It's www.arwendayle.com, and Arwendayle is ARWENDAYLE.com. Or they can just write a crown for every queen.com. That works too.
A crown for every queen.com, everyone.
Yeah.
I love it, Anja.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for stopping by, Anja. Listeners, I hope you take this to heart, because there is a woman out there that you may know that could use Anja's services. So don't be afraid to share it. Not a wig, it's a crown.
Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. I'm going to say goodbye for now. Thank you for stopping by. And have an amazing day, because today is your voice, your story, your impact. It's all about leveraging up. Thank you, Anja, for leveraging up the life of women who need and want to feel beautiful.